Hey guys, in this video we will discuss about the process of transcription. So in the process of transcription there is formation of RNA from DNA. So RNA is made from the DNA. The process is called transcription. So this is our DNA. If we draw it in schematic diagram of two parallel strands, this is 5' to 3' strand and this is 3' to 5' strand. Okay, suppose there is formation of a RNA and the RNA always formed in the direction of 5' to 3' direction. Okay, so the strand that is complementary to this RNA, it is called as template strand. It is called as template strand because it acts as template to form the RNA. Okay, and the left out strand that is 5' to 3' one, it is called as coding strand. It is called as coding strand. Why this is called as coding strand? Because codes that are present on the strand are similar to the RNA codes. Okay, now to make a RNA we have some requirements. So what are these requirements? Let's have a look. So we need a DNA that can be transcribed. Second, we need a RNA polymerase. And also we need raw material, that is nucleotides. So we use nucleotide triphosphates. Actually in the formation of RNA we only need monophosphates, but nucleotide triphosphates are used and there is breakdown of two phosphates and there is formation of nucleotide monophosphates. So these two high energy phosphate, they will provide the energy that is required to formation of RNA. Got it? Okay, now actually let's have a detailed discussion about RNA polymerase. So RNA polymerases in the prokaryotes or bacteria, there is only one RNA polymerase. It will do the entire job. Okay, unlike in the eukaryotes, we have three RNA polymerase named as RNA polymerase 1, 2 and 3. Okay, in this RNA polymerase it will form ribosomal RNA, rRNA. Okay, and ribosomal RNA and RNA polymerase 2, it will form messenger RNA or mRNA, and RNA polymerase 3, it forms tRNA, transfer RNA. Okay, so these are three types of RNA polymerase in the eukaryotic cell. After this, let's have a look at the process how the RNA polymerases acts and the formation of mRNA. So suppose this is a DNA and on the DNA we have some promoter sequences. Like this. This is our DNA. In this, suppose this is the starting point. RNA will be formed away from it. Okay, on the -10 position. And what is this -10 position? It's a position that is 10 base pair prior to the starting point. So if we count backward 10 base pair, the position will be -10 position. On this position we have a sequence called TA, AAT. This sequence is called Pribnow box. This is called Pribnow box. Okay. There is one more sequence on minus 35 that is called as TA, GA, CA. So these are two promoter sequence that is present in the prokaryote cell. That is present in the prokaryote cell. And let's have a look at eukaryotes. So in the eukaryotes, we have similar DNA. In the eukaryotes, on the minus 25 position, we have a sequence called as Tata box. Sequence is called as Tata box, and on minus 75 to 80, we have another sequence that is called as cat box, CAAT, cat box. Okay, so these are the promoter sequences in the eukaryotes and the prokaryote DNA. Now this is the DNA, and let's suppose these are the promoter sequences, and this is our RNA polymerase. This RNA polymerase, it will bind with a factor called as sigma. It will bind with a factor called as sigma, and this entire complex, RNAP sigma complex, it will bind on the promoter sequences. Then it looks like something like this. And when these complex bind on the promoter sequence, they produce a local uncoiling. So the DNA that is like this coiled, so the DNA, it will uncoil on that position only where the complex is bound. So now this is the RNAP sigma complex, and these are the promoter sequences. Now this complex, it will move in this direction. And there is production of a mRNA on the backside. So there is production of mRNA on the backside. So when there is complete formation of mRNA, now we have to stop the process, stop the transcription. So we have a mechanism. Actually, when our mRNA is formed like this, and we have to stop the process, and there is attachment of the RNAP on the end. So in this time, there is another factor called as Rho factor. It will attach to RNA polymerase, and when this attach to the RNA polymerase detaches itself from the mRNA. So if this, we can see that RNA polymerase and Rho factor, they will bind together, and RNA polymerase, it will detach from the RNA. This is one type of termination that is dependent on Rho factor. So it is called as Rho dependent termination. Sometimes what happens at the end of mRNA, there is formation of U-shaped loop, and by the help of this loop, there is termination of the process. And there isn't any Rho factor. So this type of termination is called as Rho independent termination. Okay, so this is about the termination. And as we see that this entire process of binding RNA polymerase and sigma factor to the promoters and local uncoiling, this entire step, it is called as initiation. It is called as initiation. And when the RNA polymerase moves on the DNA strand and produce a mRNA or any RNA, this process is called as elongation. It is called as elongation. So we have three processes like initiation, elongation and termination. And termination is of two types, row dependent and row independent. So that's about the transcription. After production of mRNA, especially in case of mRNA only, we have something called as post transcriptional modification, called as post transcriptional modification. So post transcriptional modification. So first process in this is called as splicing. First process is called as splicing. Actually, when mRNA is formed, mRNA contains two things. One is exons, the part that codes for any protein or polypeptide. So exon, they will code for proteins or polypeptide. And introns, these introns, they do nothing, so they have to be removed. So removal of these introns should be done, so they have to be removed, and this removal of these introns is called as splicing. This is called as splicing. You can see that if this is our mRNA, so say orange color is exons and blue color is introns. So when splicing is done, there is formation of this exon only mRNA and introns are removed. So this process is called as splicing. After that, actually we have two more processes to provide the stability to the mRNA. So these are like, one is 5' capping, 5' capping, and second is poly-A tailing, poly-A tailing. So this is the spliced mRNA. After splicing, this is the 5' end, this is the 3' end. On the 5' end, we add our nucleotide called as methyl guanosine. Methyl guanosine. So this will be added on the 5' end, and this is called as 5' capping. And on the 3' end, we add multiple A's, multiple adenosines. Multiple adenosines are added on 3' end. So these adding of multiple A or adenosines is called as poly-A tailing. Why? Poly means multiple, A for adenosine, and tailing is because it is added on tail end or on the 3' end. So this is all about the transcription and the post transcriptional modification. Thanks for watching.